Gordon saw his ghost one time. He saw a figure one evening walk from the hut towards the pine trees, and that was a bit scary because he said who's there, and the figure disappeared as it got past the gate.
So I've made it here to Dargo, which is Victoria's most isolated town, and I'm waiting outside the pub here for my contacts who are going to take me up to see this magnificent...
Hello.
G'day.
Richard, are you Richard?
I am, hi.
Nice to meet you, Gordon Worsley.
Hi, Gordon. How you going?
Very good, thanks.
You've got a car full here.
We've got a car, we've got all the bodies on board.
So, Gordon, tell me, I mean, you've met me here today, a hut, murder mystery, all sorts of stuff.
We've got lots of things to show you, Richard. We've got lots of things to see this weekend.
So should I feel a bit nervous about coming out with you today?
We've got ghosts, we've got all sorts of things. It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
All right, well, I guess we better get Harry Smith's Eagle Vale hut is about 60 k's from Dargo, along beautiful but treacherous alpine roads. And it was about to be bulldozed when it was discovered barely standing by the 4 Worsley brothers from Melbourne. Brother Jim pleaded with the farm owner not to destroy this piece of history, and that he and brothers Gordon, Brian and Kenny would take on the task of restoring it to how Harry would have had it about a century ago.
April 1st we started 89, and that was April Fool's Day, as we said. We were the April Fools, but no, it really was a labour of love, and we did it. It took 2 years of coming up here every month and working on it. There was about 7 of us involved.
Kenny, what for you? What was the most interesting part of the renovation process?
Actually, sort of adzing the logs, the beams, putting it all back together again.
What's adzing exactly?
Adzing is like an axe for shaving off the bark and straightening out the logs. Mainly yellow box is the tree we search for. Yes.
And is that probably what Harry would have used?
Yes, so he would use the best timbers. Yes.
Harry's hut is in an incredibly remote valley in alpine Gippsland. I asked Gordon and Brian how he ended up here.
In the early days, it was all gold prospecting. Crooked River downstream, Grant, Talbotville. There's a lot of old gold towns in those days. And of course the prospectors would seek more gold, and they came right up this valley. They'd come up here, and the early settlers, Oliver Smith, Harry's stepfather, saw the Wonnangatta Valley as a prime grazing country and crop country, and that's where he settled up in the Wonnangatta station. So I suppose we were fortunate to come when we did, or the place would not be in existence today.
Yeah,
so,
it's a great piece of Australian history.
Yeah.
If this was anywhere else in the world, if that was in America, this would have a big car park here now, with people flocking in from everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like Daniel Boone's
house. Davy Crockett's
yeah,
house
something
or
like that.
something like that. Yeah.
But in some ways, you don't really want that, do you?
No.
So you don't really want to create a theme park. I mean, you're quite discreet about the location here, aren't you? I mean, you're not going to give me the exact details. I mean, I was blindfolded driving out here.
People are welcome to come and look at it and leave
got
money in the donation box.
Yeah. We call it a slab hut because we've drunk that many slabs when we were fixing the place up. But no, it's we've had a lot of fun doing it. But as you say, the pride is a big thing. Every time we come here, it's always great to see it still standing. That's one thing, because several of the huts have been damaged or destroyed, with fire or whatever, over the years. But no, tremendous pride in the place. It's great.
We try and all the bits and pieces, all little artefacts. We try and keep it looking exactly how Harry would have had it. Make it look like Harry just stepped out the door. Yeah. In fact, he's still lying in the bed in there.
Someone like Harry Smith probably wanted a quiet life, looking after livestock, tending to his horses. But when a double murder occurred at the nearby Wonnangatta homestead in 1918 and Harry raised the alarm, his life would never have been the same. The homestead manager and cook were both shot dead, and the mystery remains unsolved to this day. Poor Harry was even a suspect for a short time, as he used to deliver the homestead's mail every week or so. But Brian Worsley says Harry's gun didn't fit the bill.
Harry had a revolver hidden underneath the floorboards, and this could be one of the bullets. It was a 303.
Wow.
Like a real, bloody,
Wild West
big,
gun.
It
big.
looks like a really decent sized
Look at
bullet.
that. Oh yeah, that'd make a mess of somebody. That. Yeah.
Wow. Would
Yeah.
that be from a handheld gun, a revolver?
Well, I'm not sure. Someone said it's from a rifle, but Harry's gun was supposed to be a really big one. So and
Okay.
it never been shot for ages. And when the police came, they wanted him to shoot his gun into one of the trees, which is gone now.
Yeah.
And so he fired a bullet into one of the trees, and it proved nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the murder weapon anyway. No, not that big, because I think the murder weapon was a little gun.
Smaller calibre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And watch your head. You're very tall, so you've got to make sure you duck.
Harry went on to care for the murdered homestead manager's son, Jim Barclay Jr., who'd been getting into strife in Melbourne. And he lived in the hut's second bedroom and learned farming and bush skills from Harry. Jim Barclay Jr. stayed on in the hut after Harry died in 1945. Why is there so much newspaper on the wall?
Well, the idea of the wallpaper, the newspaper, was to keep the drafts out. What they do, they put the hessian on the wall, fill up the gaps with mud, of course, between the logs, and then put hessian on, and then they just simply paste newspapers on the wall. If you look, you can see the old newspapers below, which are actually better quality than the new ones. But this one is 18 something. I can't read it, got no glasses on, but that's an old one. We left that vacant. We left it so you could see it. That's another Whitechapel murder, and that's back in Jack the Ripper's day. I think he was a very, very kind-hearted person himself, because, you know, look what he did for Jim Barclay Jr. He took him under his wing and brought him out here, and he looked after him, you know, kept him out of trouble. I think he was a very generous person, because the Melbourne Walking Club used to come by here all the time, and he'd always welcome them. And they say that, what I've read, there was always a billy boiling.
Well, if you can find the hut, the hospitality of Harry Smith is being carried on by the Worsley brothers. And as for who committed the Wonnangatta murders, the brothers think Harry may have known, but they're still looking for where he's hidden that elusive note that reveals all.